What's going on, Donnies and Donettes? Come on, it's another week, so you know we had to come back with another episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Yes! Guys, somehow we keep doing it, giving more banging episode, more great guests, more good gems, more stuff so we can all learn and stew and get better at what we do. You know what I'm saying? And this week, I've got my good friend on this podcast, which I cannot wait for you to get to know. And her name is Jules Vick. Some of you have already seen Jules Vick on TikTok. Some of you have already seen her on Instagram. If you love your disco house, you definitely have. And if you hasn't, you're going to meet her today. In this episode, we talk about mindset, mental health, how to handle trolls, going viral, what to do with a posting schedule. We go through a lot of good, great stuff, and you're going to get some good gems. So make sure you stick around. One thing I'm going to mention, quick disclaimer, I'm going to apologize because I mentioned her name is Jules Vick a few times in this pod, and I'm going to apologize from the get-go because I'm ashamed of myself by saying her name wrong. Her name is Jules Vick. So I'm going to apologize. So when you do hear it, just don't worry and carry on listening. It gets better as it gets on. So just thought I'll mention that because I want to make sure that's clear. But before we get into this lovely episode, let's talk about, you know what, Level Up Live. Jeez! 22nd of February, guys, it's all going down. We're about to change the industry as we're already doing, but we're going to do it in real time because, as you know, it's all about the real time meetups, networking, education, sessions, live podcasts, proper networking sessions. Guys, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be epic. And if you've got your ticket, I'll see you in the room. If you haven't got your ticket, you have up until the 14th of February this month. I don't know when you're listening to this. If you're listening to this past 14th of February, tickets are already gone. If you are listening to this after 22nd, look on the socials so you can look for the videos and all the great stuff that happened. But other than that, if you are thinking about coming to Level Up Live by the 14th of February, you must have your ticket. After that, the box office closes. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking you've got up until the 14th of February to make a decision, after that there's no more love because it's Valentine's Day and that's the end of the love. I'm joking, but if you want to come, head in the link in the description, grab your ticket for Level Up Live. Cheers. I want to give a big shout out to my few new patrons that has joined the Patreon community recently. Guys, your donations fully help keep this podcast going. You keep this light on. You keep that light on. You keep me coming here every single week because it shows that there's some benefits and things that you're getting from it and you felt that you want to reach into your pocket and donate. This is, just so to make it clear for everyone that doesn't know, it is a £5.50 donation every single month to keep the podcast. It supports the podcast to keep it going, because as I'm sure some of you don't know, I make it quite clear on my stories and stuff, this ain't easy, but I'm happy to come here as long as people are getting value, people are putting things into action, and they're making changes. So whatever you could do to support back definitely helps it continue, because otherwise it's not feasible, and I want it to be feasible. So all of you that are helping, you guys need to, if you're not helping, it would be great to thank some of these people because they make it so you can have the podcast for free every single week. Big shout out to Luke, I see your post, I see, you know what I mean, you're there mixing, you got the 360 cam there and there. Keep going, Luke, bruv. It's going to pay dividends more next year than it is this year. So keep going, and thank you for your support. Big shout out to Simon. I see you, bro. You've jumped on, you're supporting, you're loving the episodes, you're getting value from the podcast. That makes me sleep well at night, and thank you so much for all your support as well. Thank you. Just want to say thanks. And big shout out to Chris Ben. Chris Ben, come on, bro. You come and Level Up Live. You know we're going to level up, and you're supporting the podcast. Thank you so much. I've sent you all personal messages, but I want to big you up on the podcast as well. And if you would like to join and support the podcast, if you're getting benefits from it and you want to give a little something back, why not head into the link in the description and you can subscribe for a mere fee of £5.50 every single month, which supports the podcast going. Imagine that, £5.50 gems every single month, 4 episodes a month. It's a no-brainer. But even if you don't support, you can support for free by sharing, liking, commenting, and encouraging other DJs to get some of these gems as well, because my mission is to change the industry for DJs. We're going to start with mobile, and then we're going to go further afield. And I just want to know when I leave the industry, it was in a better shape than when I came in. That's my goal. And if you're all joining along, you're already part of it. And if you're new here, thank you for being here, man. We've got a lot to share. Go and check out some of the past episodes and check out some of the recent episodes. We've got some great stuff coming. But anyway, that's enough of that stuff. Also, we've got the school community starting up. It's absolutely free to join. You can go in there. We can talk, comments, ideas, all that kind of stuff. We are going to be doing some live courses that are going to be dropping on there real soon. So get inside there so you're in there once the courses go up. Once the courses go up, things may change. But as it stands at the moment, it's actually a free community to join. Link in the description. Make it happen if that's something that you want to do. Anyway, that's enough dilly-dally. That's enough talking. Let's get into this episode. Let's roll that sexy intro so we can get some of these gems. Cheese on bread. Oh my days, guys, I have her on the pod. It's Jules Vic. Woo, 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 woo.
I'm so excited.
So am I. This is going to be such a good one, Jules. I'm so glad to have you on, man. How are you doing today? Let's talk about just how are you feeling this morning?
I'm good. I'm full of life today. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. It's always going to be fun talking to you.
Oh, 100%. Do you know what I love about you? Exactly what you said. You always have this energy that you come online with. And that, as you got now, genuine smile, genuine happiness, just full of positivity. So we're going to be sprinkling some of the people's then today.
Yes, we are. Yes.
Okay, so let me let you guys know the reason I have brought Giles on the podcast today is that I think what Giles has achieved in the last 3 years, from starting to DJ to where she is now, is a journey. And I really want to share the things that she's done. I feel she's broke the mold in certain things, because there's a lot of people that have these limiting beliefs as to what they can and can't do at certain ages and all these kinds of things. And I think Giles has literally disrupted that. So I want to bring her on the pod to talk about all those kind of things. And Giles, you have done a lot in the 3 years. I've been doing my research. I've seen the stuff already. I've been engaging. But before we get into all of that beautiful stuff, as I said, you've only been DJing for 3 years. So we need to go a bit back before that. And where we're going to start is, Giles, I can see going through your content, you are a big lover of house music, house disco, grooves, vibes. That seems like it really resonates with you. I would love to know, what was your intro into the whole house music thing? When did this start? What was the first DJ you was listening to? What club night did you go to? Where did the inspiration come from for the house music stuff?
Do you know what? I think a lot of people my age are going to resonate with some of this. So I grew up actually in a house where there was a lot of rock music and a lot of blues. And so I kind of naturally followed that. I went into the grunge thing in the early 90s and was a big kind of rocker. And then I live in Essex, and there was a little unknown band around at the time called The Prodigy, who were literally 15 minutes away from where I was living. And they were doing some of the raves. This was before they got super big. And they were obviously playing hardcore and breakbeat and all the stuff that we know The Prodigy. And I was like, what is this? And they became the acceptable crossover for anyone who was into rock music, listening to any form of dance music. They were like, oh, that's legit, you can do that without your scene neglecting you. So obviously found electronic dance music through them, if you want to give it a big title. And then because of them, started just listening to rave tapes. Like, you would go to raves and you get like packs of tapes after a rave, and that sent me on a bit of a journey of, I guess, just exploring the scene. The Criminal Justice Act came in, raves got shut down a little bit, everything went into the clubs.
I'm going to try and keep up with you in time.
So we're talking so by the time, what was it, like 94, the Criminal Justice Act, I think. So by then the raves were really tailing off and everything was going into the clubs, and it meant that things got a bit separated. So you'd have like maybe house and garage nights, but you wouldn't have drum and bass and house pretty much in the same clubs like you might have done at a rave. So really going to the clubs that I moved away from that sort of ravey breakbeaty thing into house music. And I would go in the clubs and I'd hear these amazing tunes, and because there was no Shazam or any internet to kind of look this stuff up, if you hung around the DJ booth and tried to see the ID as it's spiraling around on the record, but you couldn't get it then either. So I would have to listen to things like Pete Tong on Radio 1 to learn the IDs of these tracks. So really, Pete was a massive influence on me. He did these brilliant essential mixes, and every Friday night getting ready to go out, discovering new music from his radio show. So that's kind of where it started. But I realised by then it was mid to late 90s, and I'd missed the Summer of Love, acid house movement, the late mid 80s house. So of course I went back and discovered all of that stuff as well. Just fell in love. It's a love affair.
And it's crazy because, like, like with the music that you're talking about, everything you're speaking about, when you're playing some of the tunes, you can see the way you're just like reminiscing and getting in the way you can see it, like you can literally physically see it. And I remember there was a point when I really started to realize that we have a very similar taste when it comes to house music. There'll be certain tunes that you would put on and I'll be like, ooh, what's this? And I'm like, okay, this I haven't heard this before. And then I'll do the same thing, similar to like what Pete Tong was doing with you. I'll be doing that with you. I'll be like, oh,
I love that.
I haven't heard this tune. Okay, I'll be on a Spotify. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me see the artist, another tune. I'm like, okay, they're making these grooves. And then you'll do another one and you'll just be there like, And I'll be
My
like,
mum dancing.
I was like, it became very apparent. I was like, yeah, we have a very similar taste in the type of grooves and when it comes to the vibe of the music that the music gives off. And yeah, there's been a lot of the videos that have resonated with me, even with the music that you play. So I love that. I love that.
A few people have said that actually, that they come to my account to find music. So I'm making DJs lazy now because they just come to my account. But it's just, honestly, I'm addicted to a groove. I'm addicted to a bass line. And I think a lot of us are because of the neuroscience of what that does in your body. So it's just, I'm finding the tunes and playing them. I love them. And I think if I love them, other people are going to love them.
100%.
So.
And that's 100%. Yeah. And I always feel like there's a sound for everyone. There is some music that might be a bit eclectic that some people might think, it's not popular. But exactly what you just said, I think that's true. Like if you like it, there'll be someone else that likes it. So
someone will.
Yeah. And like there's a community for everything. I think before it was much harder to find. So if you was into an eclectic style of music, you might just, if none of your friends were listening to it or it wasn't on radio, then you'd be out. But luckily with the internet that we have now, like sharing, forums, all those different things can expose you to, and then you can kind of like find your tribe much more easier than you would have before. So I think that's very important as well, and very eye-opening, and also exposes people to other people. You start finding friends that you might not have spoken to before, but because you have this joint love of this eclectic style of music, then you start to like go off into different friendships and different things that can happen from there. So I think that opens up the doors as well for a lot of people.
Isn't that one of the really beautiful things about music, is the people that you find along the way and the way it joins you together? And I always said this, DJs are just nerds. Like DJs who are really in it for the music, we're just nerds. We love our music. We want to geek out on a clap or a snare or a groove. And when you find other people that want to do that with you, it's a really special thing.
Oh no, 100%. And I think it's even what I love exactly like what you just said there is that when you can know that you can be instant friends with someone just based off the music. If you've got the same music taste, you're like, you know what, I think I'm going to like that person. That person might be like, you know what, I think I'm going to like you as well. It's like, no, I think that's going to happen because the music is already like the main, like you were saying, like the neuros, the endorphins that it gives, you probably share that, and there's other things that you could probably share and love as well. So. Right. Yeah, your love for music is banging. It's banging. And it comes from Pete Tong. So let's big up Pete Tong for inspiring DJs with music, man.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for Pete Tong, I wouldn't be a DJ at all on many levels. So, yeah.
So let's talk about your first introduction into DJing. So you now, how long would you have been DJing now? How long have you been DJing? For 3 years, right? And when did that 3 years start? Like, what's the timeline?
So New Year's Eve was when I got my first set of decks. It was my birthday. So what had happened was the previous month, or the beginning of that month, we'd gone to see Pete Tong. There he is again, the O2, and he was doing one of his live Ibiza sets. So he had like Beverly Knight and Becky Hill and a full orchestra with Jules Buckley, and they were playing all the tunes from our generation. It was mind-blowingly brilliant. And my husband said to me afterwards, I have never seen you so alive, because he wasn't part of the whole ravey dancey thing. So he like something in me just lit up, because I hadn't been out for so long. And I'm a tyrant in the car, so I've got no control now because I've got teenagers. But until they were teenagers, I was the one in the car doing the playlist. Like, I was the car DJ. I'm always the person at the parties going, have you heard of this track? Or I turn up with a playlist on Spotify. Or I was always that person. And so my husband, as a surprise, after seeing me come alive and seeing, my love affair with music and actually my passion for sharing it with other people, he bought me a little controller for my birthday, and as I wrapped it, I was like, what? And he went, I just feel like you were born to be a DJ. All you've ever wanted to do is share music with people. I think you should give it a try. So I was like,
So
Okay,
you
that
had
makes
no idea, like you had no
none.
idea, nothing. Have you ever thought about DJing before that part?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. So
okay.
in the 90s, I wanted to do it, but it was a bit of a boys' club. I had
Hmm.
my ex's dad was a soul DJ in the 80s, and he showed me how to use his techniques. But yeah, so I never DJed on vinyl, never did any of that. But I did do hospital radio for about 2 years when I was a teenager, hoping that maybe I would become
It
the
was going to
next
transition into something different.
on
Yeah.
Radio 1, obviously.
Well,
That didn't happen. Surprise! So here I am. But yeah, but I mean, it was a long forgotten thing. I don't think I'd ever really even talked to him about it. So it was a real surprise. The best present I've ever received.
yeah.
This little DDJ 200. Yeah,
And then, so then you got your DDJ 200, and then you
yeah.
just started mixing at home, right?
So yeah, I did. Well, the first thing I was like, what the heck is this thing? Because I was used to seeing records on turntables. I was like, what do all these buttons do?
Yeah.
Fortunately, it didn't have many buttons. So it meant without even realizing that it was so important, it meant that I really focused on beat matching with my ears, because it didn't have a sync button or anything on it, because it's just this tiny little thing.
So there's no syncs button on the DDJ 200?
No.
Really? That's actually, I've never known a digital controller, especially a modern, because that's a modern one. You can get it
Well,
now.
they're so freaking small.
They are tiny, yeah. But
Platters are like little mouse platters.
They would have. No, that's really interesting. There's no.
You can do it on your laptop, because obviously it's connected to your laptop. So you
Correct,
could
okay.
connect, but then you've got to be constantly. And I was like, hang on, there's too much to touch here. I just need to focus on what I'm doing in front of me. It was like doing a Rubik's Cube. But so yeah, I started kind of beat matching and doing that. And then I found a bunch of stuff on YouTube. And then I discovered this organization called Crossfader, who've got really good courses. So I started following their courses, and they got me from like basic beat matching to understanding, phrases and, all the kind of the music knowledge that we need to have. And and then I took it from there. And someone said to me, look, if you're going to do this, why don't you stick it on TikTok and chart your journey? And then you can see in a year's time where you've come to. But what actually happened was, there I am putting these terrible mixes out online, and they are terrible, those first ones. And other DJs were finding me and going, go on, girl, off you go. And I made loads of great friends. Everyone was really encouraging. And so if you look at my early videos, there's like a mix. Then there's, I need your help. How do you do this thing? And people were helping me. It was fun. It was really fun.
Do you know what? That brings me swiftly onto my next question, which is cool because like as far as I was concerned, when you started, it's like you started on TikTok from what I saw, and I remember you done a video. I think you kind of showed that you got this 200, and you was like, I got this 200. I'm start DJing, and like you're on TikTok doing like the videos, and you're showing yourself like learning stuff, and like you were saying, you was asking questions and all those types of things. So it sounds like you found a real community when you hit TikTok.
Oh, I really did. And do you know what? There are some of my favourite people in the world are people that I am still friends with, who back then were just experienced DJs who were giving me help. And now, they're kind of lifelong friends. So yeah, it's been a real privilege to find the people that I found along the way. I mean, obviously we know with social media, there are always going to be people that are tricky and difficult and have opinions that they probably should keep to themselves. But ultimately I found it a really positive experience.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really, really good because I put out this video the other day, actually. I was talking about how I don't do a lot on Facebook. So when it comes to like DJ, anything kind of DJ related, whether it's me advertising my service or whether it's me talking to other DJs, Facebook is not somewhere I would go. And what I said in the video was the reason why is that I've found Facebook in the past to be quite negative. But what I did love, very similar to you, I remember when I started TikTok, I was going to just open my TikTok and do what I've been doing on, Instagram and, advertising my services and all that sort of stuff. But then I thought, what, it would be nice to open up a new social media and do something different to what I would normally do. So instead of, look at what I can do at your party, instead of like, why not talk about DJing? Because I've got so much information in my head about DJing because I've done it in many different aspects for so many years. So I thought it would be good to share and talk and have a different kind of energy. And then that's when I started TikTok. That's how I started TikTok. And just like yourself, the community I found on there was super powerful compared to past experiences that I've faced on Facebook. Can I ask you, have you ever posted anything on Facebook? Is there a reason?
Yep.
Do you mind sharing your reason?
So I think for me, So I join, obviously, naturally, I use Facebook probably more just for groups than anything else these days. But all the DJ groups are really negative spaces, I've found. You get these poor people who are right at the beginning of something asking a question that's really obvious to someone who's been doing it for 30 years, but it's not obvious to someone who's just got their first set of decks. And the pile-on was always very aggressive. And I just thought, do you know what? I'm learning something. I need to be in a positive mind space. I'm doing this just for fun. I'm not, right back then I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to do a gig or anything. I'm just learning something for the heck of learning it, injecting a bit of fun back into my life because I'm in my mid-40s and I've got too many responsibilities. I don't need that in my fun space. So I was like, no, I'm not putting myself out there over there. I'm not doing it. TikTok was really positive. I also started doing kind of Instagram a little bit afterwards. It was just all for fun. So I was like, what the heck? Let's just carry on over here where it's nice. The water's nice and warm over here. Let's stay here.
It's nice and warm over here.
It's nice and warm over here.
My thing is that, just to quickly touch on it, I don't know why that happens. Because if you think about it, like obviously TikTok is a social media, Instagram is social media, Facebook, they're all social medias, right? Yeah. And everyone's on all of them. But I wonder why, with Facebook specifically, well, from what I found and listening to kind of what you found, and maybe there's some others, why did that happen on Facebook? Why did Facebook go that route instead of some of the other places? I don't know why that could have even been a thing.
I have a bit of a theory. So when you're putting video content out, which is what Instagram and TikTok is, you've got to be vaguely entertaining or educational or inspirational or something. You've got to have some value.
Correct.
Facebook's very self-oriented. If you remember right, in the early days, it was, what are you thinking? Or it was even in the third person, wasn't it? Jules is whatever.
Yeah.
Weird way to speak about myself. So it's all about, it's just about you. You're not really thinking about the people who might be watching or whatever. So it's all very, I was in the traffic today and then my dinner burnt in the oven, and it's like, what? So I think there's just this sort of, I don't know, maybe the focus there, but also, and I hate to say this because I am in this age group, but it's older people on Facebook, and we do have a problem with moving on with the times.
Yes.
And we don't speak very positively about progression.
No.
And we get very clingy to the way things were back in the 90s. And we can't communicate healthily about it. So I think there's an element of that as well. And I probably just lost you a load of listeners. Sorry, but
No. But I think like your point and your view is important. You're the guest on today's show, so your views are very important.
Thanks. Yeah, so agree with me or else.
It's funny because what you just said, I think I fully agree with everything you just said there. So with me, I think, Facebook is one of the most popular first social medias. It's not the first, but it's the first to go to where it went to. I mean, we had MySpace, we had some other older ones as well, Keek, and some ones that didn't really, that are not around as much more. But Facebook is probably one of the ones that's been around for the longest with the most amount of current users on there. But I think you're right. Where it's been around for the longest, you've got people that have aged with it. Do you know what I mean? They've started Facebook in maybe, 30, 20 something. And now Facebook is like almost 15, 20 years old. So now they're maybe in their 50s. And TikTok's come out, and when TikTok came out, it was the youngsters. It was known as a dancing platform, even though that's not what it was. But when it that's what it was most known for. So then you had people on Facebook that was like, I'm never going on TikTok. I'm not no kid. I'm not no dancer. I'm not.
I'm not embarrassing myself dancing around on TikTok.
I'm not doing that. What kind of stupid people do that? TikTok. That's for my son. That's for my daughter. That's for my grandchild. Do you know what I mean? And then they stick with the Facebook thing. And similar to what you're saying, you've got a lot of people that don't like change and evolving, and they want to stick in their ways, and their way is right, and it must stay like that. And I think that's a really good point you made about like how Facebook started. It was all about you just talking about you, how you felt, the traffic, complaining about stuff, moaning about stuff, or someone will put a video and you will say, I don't like that because, but no one's invited you to say your personal feeling about a short clip. But on Facebook, it's like, this is rubbish. I don't like this. I'm offended. I, me.
Yes, exactly. Rather than we.
Yes. Yeah, I've always found that with Facebook, and that is one of the reasons why I don't really participate in much on there.
No.
I prefer Instagram. I prefer TikTok. I even prefer YouTube, funnily enough. Even YouTube's a bit more of a slower burner, but where you've got so much knowledge, that, knowledge, so much information. If you've got any question, you write it in on YouTube. Like, if I buy something, I don't look at no manual. I just go straight to YouTube.
No. Yeah, same.
How do I do this? And there's someone.
Yeah.
Can we just stop as well? I want to big up anyone on YouTube or anyone online that's put out any how-to videos.
Yes.
Big up you, man. There is people on there that have done how-to videos that have helped millions and millions of people.
You are saving our bacon out here.
Saving our bacon! Putting the effort, you're editing, you're talking, you're giving your knowledge, you're uploading, and you're leaving it there, and it's
saving marriages.
Yeah.
Children and adult relationships. I can just say to my kids, YouTube it. You don't even have to argue with me about the fact that I'm clearly right and you're wrong. You can just go and YouTube it and let a YouTuber tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah, a YouTuber will tell you with their facts, and you go into the comments, everyone's like, yep, he's correct, he's right. It's like, oh, well, maybe I have to start listening to it. That does make sense.
Poor kids, my poor kids.
Man. And another thing I want to touch on, which you did speak about earlier, which I did want to bring back on, is so from what you sound like, from what you said, you went from your 200, then you started working with getting Crossfader courses, and then you went to TikTok. Was that kind of the
Yeah, I guess it kind of was. So it was all within the space of about 3 weeks, because obviously the minute I plugged those decks into my laptop, I was off. I was like, oh, I'm loving this. So yeah, I was just obsessively doing it. So yeah, probably I started, I think it was like mid-January or something. So yeah, I got the decks at the end of December. Then it was mid-January that someone said to me, oh, stick it on TikTok and see where it goes. Honestly, not trying to grow an account or be in anybody. It was more of just a diary for me to look back. But then it just grew and grew. So yeah.
And with let's quickly talk about Crossfader. So
yes.
I've watched Crossfader for years. I remember when they started with their YouTube channel, when they used to do like a lot of similar how-to videos, telling people how to beat match, how to set up equipment, like what different things meant, some of the more intricate stuff that might just not come as natural to people. And then they used to have just like videos online, and then they started doing some of the courses. I've never taken any of the courses, but you have. So can you talk to me about your experience with Crossfader? How did you find them? Like, how did you find doing the courses? Was there any difficulties, pros and cons? Let us know, because I'm sure there's some other people that would love to learn. And like I said, I've never used TikTok. I mean, I've never used Crossfader, but that's somewhere where I will automatically signpost people to when it comes to DJ education. So tell me your experience with them.
It's funny because some DJs will say you don't need to do a course, you just need to do it. And actually, that isn't, from my experience, that wasn't true. I really did not know what I was doing. If I was on 2 turntables with records, I probably could have figured it out. But when you've got this digital thing in front of you, I did not know what I was doing. And you can search through YouTube and whatever. Some of the tutorials are good and saving our bacon. Some of them are not saving our bacon and they're too long. So when I found these like really short, super helpful, one topic, one solution videos from Crossfader, I was like, these guys know how to teach. And that's a real difference. You can be an amazing DJ, but if you don't know how to teach, you've got no business coaching other people. That's my opinion. And so I think that was what really attracted me to them. So I was engaging with their content and stuff, and then I bought a couple of courses, and then I was bigging them up and telling everyone about their courses because I became their biggest fan. What I really love about Crossfader is they've thought about the journey of the DJ. So they have beginner courses, intermediate courses, advanced courses for different genres, courses for different types of controllers, because there's no point in watching a YouTube video on CDJs if I'm using a DDJ 200. It's like, what? I don't even know what all those buttons are. I haven't got them.
I haven't got that.
I haven't got that. Is it broken? So they're just brilliant. They know how to teach, and they have thought about breaking down what can be, especially music theory. Some of it's like you've got to get your head around it. They've just thought about how to do that in a really accessible way. So I'm a massive fan and an ambassador for them. I will always push people in their direction.
Yeah, man, I definitely echo what you just said there. I want to give Crossfader a massive shout out. I think what they do for the community is super good. They have a massive following on there. I like seeing their numbers grow because it shows me that the DJ community is strong. There's a lot of people that are learning, that want to learn, that want to improve their skills. Listen to all the stuff, what they talk about. They give out a lot of great knowledge. I've not seen a video or a clip from them that I disagree with. Most of the stuff I see them do, I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And they have a podcast where they kind of talk about, stuff that isn't just to do with teaching, but they're really good at staying out of some of the politics and just keeping the main stuff, which I really love. Yeah, they're good guys.
Yeah, big up Crossfader. Big up you guys.
Big
Keep
up
doing
Crossfader.
what you're doing. We love you. Okay, so we started 200. We started getting courses. We then went on TikTok. We found a community. We started DJing. I want to talk about because obviously you said before you didn't think to yourself you would ever DJ out, and you wouldn't do anything kind of like it was just going to be for fun and just learning your stuff because you love music. Let's talk about your first gig, the first time you was DJing in front of people. How did that come about? How did it feel? Give us the background story on that.
Okay, so the background
Yes,
is the story
please.
before the story
Yes,
is that I had
please.
done some live streams, and I didn't hate the live streams because it was really fun interacting with people that I chatted with on TikTok. But what I struggled with was that I was the focus of the attention, not the music.
Gotcha.
And you've kind of got this camera in your face. And as someone who'd gone out dancing a lot, my experience of being on the dance floor is you're kind of in this flow state, you're lost in the music, it's a vibe, the DJ's up there, there's a connection with the DJ, there's just this lovely energy in the room. So I'm like, this just feels a bit unnatural and uncomfortable for me, partly because of my confidence, partly because it felt like something was missing. So when a friend of mine said she was having a 40th birthday party and it was going to be disco, and disco obviously being the roots of house music and me being quite a big disco fan, I can't even believe I did this because my confidence was through the floor at this point. I just went, do you want to DJ? And she went, that'd be amazing. And I went, great, I'll do it. So, I know, offering, I'm going to just destroy your birthday. So there I did. I rocked up to her party. I mean, by then I had a Flex 4, so I'd upgraded my controller. I used my studio monitors. I didn't have a proper PA. I know I shouldn't say that to people like you.
You used your studio monitors. No, but I think, yeah.
It was a house party.
But you got to start. Your first gig is like that. Isn't it? Yeah, your first gig. I think my first gig, I used a home stereo. You know, like the stack radios. Yeah, and the red and black inside the back of the speaker, and the red and black and aux in, pull it on aux, DJ stuff. And we're like, yeah, man, with the AWA stackable system.
We're carrying these
hollow speakers to the party.
See, the good old days,
I think that's why I said the first, and that's why I'm loving that you're sharing that, because anyone else that's, your first gig is going to be not the best equipment, not the best of anything. But one thing that you did say there that I do love, and I want to echo for more people, is listening to what you said there. You went off, someone said that they're doing a party, you threw yourself in, and you didn't think about it. You just said, do you want to DJ? I'll do it. And you're like, oh shit, what have I just said I'm going to do for someone? But the fact that you used that instant go and put yourself into a predicament then gave you an opportunity.
Do you know what it is as well? And this is awful. And if she listens to this, she'll probably kill me. But there was a small part of me that was like, if you're going to have a disco party, can you do it properly with proper disco music? I hate the thought of you putting some really cheesy YMCA, Weather Girls playlist together, and that's all we're listening to all night. I can probably pull some better tunes now. It's really selfish. It's like and really arrogant of me.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's from your understanding, because you've got to remember, Daz, like, you've got history of music. It's not like, even though your DJ might be pretty recent, your musical knowledge is vast. So therefore, that standpoint makes perfect sense, because you're like, look, man, it's your party, music, like, you want a disco party, and to have a good disco party, commercial disco is not what it's going to be. Like,
no,
it's got to be...
I wanted her to have a good time. That was the most...
So I don't think it was arrogant. I think it was you showing your expertise, sharing your knowledge.
Thanks. I'll take that. I feel less bad now. So that was my first gig. So it was the first time that I had played music on a set of decks, not through a playlist, and people were dancing and having a good time. And that whole thing of, they're not dancing to this one, they've gone off and they're drinking cocktails, so let's switch it up because they seem to like that other thing. That whole experience of when they were with you, they were really with you, and the rush of that, I was like, that's it, I'm in. And everyone had said to me, once you start playing out, if you ever do it, you're going to be sold. 100%. And I absolutely was. That was it.
So did you have any problems at all? So think about like you get in there, like setting up and everything. Did you have any technical issues or anything, or was it just like a smooth sailing first gig?
I set it up like my home setup, which, by the way, I had drawn diagrams on a piece of paper and put in my Dex bag. So I was like, that one goes into that one, and that one goes like proper noob. So it was such a relief when that worked. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you. I took an extra cable with me to plug my phone in case my laptop died, which it did at one point. It overheated, so I had to reboot it. So I had to play some tunes from my phone while that was doing that. So I did have some of those. I would say probably my biggest issue and my biggest hurdle, and probably it's still that today, was my own confidence levels and anxiety.
As it always is.
But yeah, there were some technical issues. There's always a technical issue.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
And that's why it's
no one told me that being a DJ is you also have to be an IT expert and a marketing expert and like a business person. So it's not just playing music.
No. Not like it was back in the days. Now you've got to do so much more extras. You're 100% correct. Like, especially if you're going it solo and you know you want to make something of it yourself. Your marketing, your filming, your editing, your tech spec, your IT, your accounting.
Right.
Like, there's so much stuff that goes with it. It's not just the thing that people see. It's like, that's why when people say, "Oh, you're just pressing buttons," when I hear that line, I'm like, wow, this is pressing.
If only you knew. And actually, I do have to press a button, otherwise there's no music. There's no logic in what you said.
Or sometimes, well, it doesn't happen that much, but if anyone even says, if I'm around and I'm DJing and someone says, "Oh, that's easy," I'm like,
go on then. Yeah.
That's when you see straight away, they're like, "Oh, yeah, there's a lot of buttons, there are a lot of lights, you've given me the headphones, there's a screen, there's actually..." I'm out of my depth. I'm like, yeah, you just go back into the dance floor and enjoy what I'm doing and keep your comments to yourself. Right. Or go on Facebook where people care about those kind of comments.
Yeah. Go and complain about me somewhere else. I don't care. Do you ever have people ask you to teach them to DJ while you're in the middle of the gig? Because I've had that.
Yes. The things that people ask you mid-gig sometimes, I think's insane. Like, can you show me how to... I'm like, so
I'm in the middle of a wedding.
And we should just do a little course for like the next 10, 15 minutes. No, we're not going to do that. The worstest ones, Jules, is when people want to have a full-on conversation with you.
Yeah.
Even worse, when they're DJs. "Oh, yeah, I used to DJ. Yeah, man." So I'm like, so you understand what I'm doing right now? And
your decks are flashing. You've got 30 seconds left on the track.
You can see the song is finishing. Even worse, I've done a quick mix. And then you're taking it as, "Oh, okay, cool, we've got another 5 minutes to chat." No!
Yeah, no.
What is wrong with you? Yeah, I don't understand when a DJ comes over and they're like, "Yeah, I used to DJ," or "I DJ," and they want to have a full blown. I'm like, you don't DJ then, so you don't know what's going on here.
Or maybe they play 10-minute tracks. Maybe that's what they do.
Yeah. The long mixes. Those people that want to come over and do those things. Don't get me wrong. Like, I do understand. Like, some people don't get it.
Same.
Yeah, so they don't like. So I don't like. I politely let them know. But I do in my head. I'm like, what's wrong with them? But another part of me says, bro, they don't know. They just think that.
Sometimes I'll queue up a track and put the headphones on them, and I say, just press the play button, so they feel like they've done something, but they're not mixing it in. They're not mixing it in. I'll be doing that bit. Thank you.
Yeah, I do something similar. I sort of like say, "Look, man, press the air horn," and then press it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then they literally walk off, and sometimes I'm like, I've just created a DJ.
I did the air horn.
But it's similar to like what we were saying about when we first played that, they get a very tiny endorphin from doing something and affecting people, and then they walk off like back to their friends. "I just pressed the air horn. I think I'm going to buy some decks."
Yes.
But we got to let some of them, we got to let them off because they don't get it, and we
it's
do.
It's just excitement. Yeah.
It's all part of the excitement. So you're saying, from your that first gig there, did you get those endorphins? Did you get all of those sort of feelings to be like, this is definitely something now I want to continue doing?
100%, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, that was kind of, it was a low risk event for me because it was a party, but it lit this hunger in me where I thought, okay, now I want to know what it's like to dance in a room full of people that I don't really know. I want to
Hmm.
know what it's like to DJ in environments where I'm not in the safety of someone's house, but maybe I'm in a club, or maybe the bar are expecting me to make sure people have drinks at the same time as having a good time on
Hmm.
the dance. I want those challenges that I'm hearing other DJs talk about. I want to experience those things now. Mm.
And I can see that you've had some of those chances also,
Yes, I have. I've been very fortunate. So I have to say, from that birthday party to my next gig, it was like 9 months.
which
I
is fine.
wasn't
That's fine.
suddenly, some people are like out there and that's it. I didn't have that. I joined a radio station. That's what I did in that in-betweeny time,
Oh,
which was
wicked.
such a good discipline for me because not only was I having to think about what other people might enjoy, I had to really be sharp on my mixing because there's no dancing. People are
Hmm.
listening.
Just listening,
And
literally.
right, and I have a weekly show. So I've got a dig for those tunes. I can't keep playing the same stuff. I've got to build a routine into my life of digging, selecting, improving my DJing skills, and recording a radio show every week. That was a really good discipline for me.
Hmm.
And then through them, I got my next gig, which was a really random, it was like a road show out on a high street somewhere in Kent.
Okay.
So you had like shoppers. So it wasn't even people who'd come out to dance. You had like shoppers and people just standing there staring at you. But when you get that 14-year-old boy who's been sneering at you all the way up to the decks, and then he can hear your music, and suddenly him and his mates are all like, "Oh, all right,
Yeah, I
all
see
right,
you.
yeah." I'm like, yes, yes. There's just such a buzz getting people to dance. Why? What is that? I
That's
got you. I got
it's
you.
the DJ, it's the DJ, it's the DJ, it's the DJ thing. Like, especially like you're
Yeah,
saying, like if we love music, and like
yeah.
what I love about music, and I learned this when I was doing DJing on the street, is that it's a vibe thing because kids, babies, like people under 5,
Right.
1 year olds,
Yeah.
2 year olds, 3 year olds, the way they come alive, they'll just be walking with
Yes.
their mum, whatever, and then they can hear a little and kids don't have that thing that we somehow develop where everyone's watching me, oh my god, that insecurity.
Right.
Kids don't have that. They don't care. So
They don't.
when they want it, they will dance by themselves in a place like they'll be having the most fun. There's no rhythm. They're just like, yeah, I don't know
Right.
what's going on, but I like this. I like this. And they show me what happens, what continues to happen as you get older. But sadly, there comes a point, mostly when we're in our teenagers, when we stop looking outside and we start looking inside, and that's when we
Right.
start. The brain then tells us so many lies
Yeah.
continuously through your life, and then you're battling your inner demons, as I would
Right.
say. But
Yeah, you
when
are.
you're young, those things don't exist. They don't exist, and it shows you that with music, you play it, and then when people start, like you said, I got you, and then that I get you, then I get you, then there's 4 people, then 8 people, then 12 people, and
Yeah.
now the whole room is vibing. I've got control over this room. You
Right.
drop a tune, and everyone goes, ooh, like
That
everyone says the
sound. Yeah.
same sound. Like ah! Like you're there. None of you live together. None of you lot know each other. But I've just done something that made all of you do
Yeah, make the
one thing.
sound.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
think
know.
that feeling as a DJ, whether you do it to 1, 10, 16, 100, whatever number it
Right.
is, once you get that, man, it's literally like a drug. You chase it like I need that more. I need it. I
You
need it.
do. And it feels like such a privilege. I think that's the thing, because, life's hard
Hmm.
for everybody. And when you go out, you wanna, whether you're at a wedding or whether you're in a club or a festival, you wanna forget the stuff that's burdening you, and you just want to have a good time and be joyful and de-stress, and
Yep.
to be able to facilitate that for people is really special. And I
Hmm.
think sometimes as DJs we can get very caught up on DJ politics and what's right and what's wrong, and forget that, guys, we're in the fun industry here. This is
100%.
about imparting joy into people's lives, bringing good energy, being good people. And yeah, it just feels like a privilege. It's
Hmm.
such an honor. I'd
100%.
never take it for granted.
Never, never, ever take it for granted, Jules.
Never.
So another thing I want to touch on, Jules, is you've mentioned a lot of things in terms of, like you said, about time, making playlists, learning
Yeah.
to mix, getting over like certain anxiety things and all these types of things.
Yeah.
I now want to really talk to the woman that is 43.
Hmm.
She has always wanted to be a DJ. She loves music. She listens to music all the time. But she thinks in her mind that it's something that she could never chase. And like you're saying, it's very male dominated, and I haven't got the time and all those kind of things. What would you say to someone who has a mindset like that? They love music. They would love to do it all. They just can't see it happening. And just because of that, they'll never give it a go. What would you say if someone said that to you?
I think the first question I would ask is, what are you doing for fun? Because I think before you even think about, I don't even know I've got capacity for this in my life, or if I even can do it, we've got to just take a bit of a broader view of our lives. I think we have fun in our youth, and then we get jobs and we get houses and we have families, or, there's responsibilities that we have, and everything, particularly through your 30s, is like responsibility, duty. And I think you get into your mid-40s and there's this expression, midlife crisis. Men go off and buy Porsches and women take up DJing. And actually, it's not that. It's that actually, I think something happens in our mid-40s. We go, hang on, I used to be this fun person. I've forgotten how to have fun. So to anybody who is kind of going, I can't. The first thing I'd say is, what are you doing for fun? Because fun is essential for enjoying your life and not just getting to 75 and feeling like you've been on the treadmill the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think when you check and go, I'm not doing anything for fun, I don't even know what I would find fun, which is what happened to me. I was in a therapy session and the therapist said to me, what do you do for fun? What do you find fun? And I was like, I don't even know what I would do for fun.
Wow, because that's
it was so forgotten.
Yeah,
it was so forgotten.
But the reason that you said, though, every adult, any adult can hear what you're saying. Like, we have so much things that pull us in different directions in life, like kids, bills. Then you got the government doing all the crazy stuff that they want to do and flipping our lives here and there, and they're raising, what's it? Cost of living crisis, money problems, family stuff, people getting sick and people getting ill. And then you find yourself just doing life and then forgetting that. I think that's a great question that your therapist asked you there, because
fun is part of what makes us human. And a lot of us are in one state of dysregulation or another. We're anxious, we're depressed, we're whatever. And fun is, even using the word fun feels frivolous when you think about people can't even pay their bills. They're choosing between the gas bill and food that week. Fun, I haven't got time to think about fun. But actually, in terms of our mental health, it's really important. And that's why people talk about glimmers. Just go out in nature and find something that made you smile today, just something small. That's what they're talking about, bringing back some of those good hormones. So for me, there was a big fun gap. So when my husband brought me those decks, I was like, okay, I am realizing that this is now filling the fun gap that I didn't realize that I had. I am getting some mental health benefits. So this is what I'm saying, mental health benefits. Now, yes, I am a busy mum. I work pretty much full time. I have 2 teenagers. I manage a chronic health condition as well. So I am not someone who's got loads of spare capacity. But when something is fun and it taps into your passions and almost a sense of purpose, which for me was this is doing good for other people thing, you just find the time and you do it in your way. You don't have to have a weekly radio show. You don't even have to be on social media. Just get some decks, start playing and see how it makes you feel. And unfortunately, I think you're going to find that if you love it, you're then going to want to get on socials because you're going to want some gigs. But just do it. And I think a lot of women my age, one of the things that happens in all that busyness and duty, and maybe it's the same for men, is there is an erosion of confidence. There's so many battles you have to overcome. I think women particularly are worried about being in male industries because you'll get laughed at, you won't get taken seriously. I think my age and my gender, I was worried that I'd be seen as a novelty act. I would have people in my comments saying things like, oh, Auntie Susan on the ones and twos, I bet she's got a tissue up that sleeve, those kind of things, which actually just really made me laugh, but it meant people were perceiving me in a certain way. Oh, look at that old girl giving it a go. I think it wasn't until people started seeing me going into actual clubs, like I wasn't just doing disco parties for my friend's 40th, but I was doing legit events that they were like, oh, okay, and she seems to know her tunes. So I would say to those midlife women, you've got a lifetime of musical experience inside of you. 100%. You've also got a lifetime of understanding people, which means reading the dance floor will become second nature to you. Don't let life erase fun. Do it, give it a go. If you hate it, you can bin it. But if you don't start, you'll never find the benefits. And my life has dramatically improved over the last 3 years simply because I got DJ. I'm just a happier person. And I have more capacity for all the other demands in my life because there's happy now.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I don't even want to tarnish that. That was, perfect. 100%. Echo, definitely times 10, everything you just said there. I'm trying to put myself into the person who's listening and they want to hear what you're saying, but their brain is already giving them some back downs. Because that's what the brain will do. As you know, the negative mind, it lives in all of us. Yep, happens to me also. You see something, oh, I can't do that. The first voice is, why are you the first one? That looks great, but I can't. No. That looks great. Cut it there. There's no need for the other voice to come in. So let's try and birth some of those myths. So let me get into that person's mind. So that person's like, Giles, I hear what you're saying. It is great. And I do have a wealth knowledge of music because I've been listening to the music since way, way back. And I know all of this and I know that. And I'm in clubs and I can sometimes hear what the DJ is doing wrong and maybe what I would do if I had the opportunity, but it's nothing that I ever done. The first thing they're going to think about is like, I know I watch a lot of DJs on social media. Let's talk about like the time that you invest in social media. Thinking about yourself before 3 years ago, was there any sacrifices that you made in terms of you being able to, let's talk about edit, upload, and maybe engage. Is there any sacrifices you made or was it like a bit of a natural transition?
No, I had to make some sacrifices. I think I made lots of sacrifices. I realised if I was going to really pursue this, and because I developed a following, I was like, now I feel like I need to keep putting content out because people are invested in my journey, which was lovely. But I can't be doing this all the time. I've got a job and I've got kids and whatever. So I think I did two things. I talked to the family about the fact that mum's picked up this hobby and she loves it and people seem to like it. And hey, are we all on this journey? Or, and my kids, they were just coming into their teens. I'm like, is this totally cringe for you? Like, if I'm out there on TikTok where all your friends are, my kids loved it. It turned out that all their friends thought I was famous because I was on TikTok. So that was fine. So I had call points. So the family were invested. We talked about what this might mean. I might be on lives in the evening when you'd rather I was helping you with homework or whatever. I made sure that if opportunities came my way, I didn't overload myself. So for a while, it was like, it's 1 gig a month and that's it. The other 3 weekends, my family get me. But also, I think I learned how to get smart with socials. So the kind of content that I put out, it had to be sustainable for me. If I was going to do like super fancy multi-shot videos where I've got to do loads of editing and stuff, not going to happen. I won't be consistent. And also, no one wants that. Everyone just wants something a bit authentic. I stand there, I go, hey, this is a tune that I like, press play, flap my arms about a bit, end video. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not a hard thing for anybody to do. I record it, I chop off the beginning and the end where I'm doing something weird, like trying to turn my camera on and off, and I put some captions on it, bam, job done. And I batch content. So I go, right, this is my time off work. I've got 2 hours. I've already pre-selected my tunes because maybe it's something I've been on my radio show or something I've loved and listened to. I'm going to pull out some 90s faves because it's low effort. I know them really well. And I just go, right, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to get through as many tracks as I possibly can. I might change my t-shirt a couple of times, so I'm not always in the same clothes. And that's it. That's me done.
Love it.
Easy. Like, I'm a woman. We've got to be efficient. Wasted time.
We ain't got all day. We
ain't got all day.
Get it out.
Get on it. So you can do a week's worth. You can do 2 weeks worth. Last Friday, I think I did 3 weeks worth of content.
3 weeks worth of guys. Are you hearing this? This is for everyone now. You guys know I talk about social media all the time because I'm like, I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for this. And that the reason why I echo it because I'm like, everyone can do this. Everybody can do this. If you're going to listen to the voice in your mind that we all have, so I'm not acting like no one has it. We all have it. Every single person you know has it. That when you want to do something, if you give it any more than, from what Mel Robbins says, big up Mel Robbins, love your book as well.
Love Mel Robbins.
I'm reading it at the moment. Is the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule is that if you get an idea of something that you want to do, you must act within 5 seconds. If you take longer than that, the negative voice will win and stop you from doing what you're doing. So I want to make a video. As soon as you said that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let me get the camera. Let me get into action. Do the stuff.
That's it.
Even like what you were saying there, which I echo all the time, is I'm the same. I am quantity over quality. That is right. That's not with all things, but when it comes to social media,
Right, because you've got to be
Quantity,
consistent.
yes, consistency. So for
Right.
me to be consistent, like you said it, and I was just like, oh, this is probably one of the first time I've actually heard. We ain't got time. I haven't got time to sit and edit. I haven't got time for hours on CapCut. I haven't got time to get the best line and the best and the best and the best. I need to get out a quick message, slap on a hook. I don't even want to edit. I want to, exactly what you said. I want to cut that bit get straight to the point. Boom. How short as it can be? 40 seconds. Fantastic post.
Done. Exactly. And the thing is, if we don't do it like that, it's not sustainable.
No,
and unfortunately,
'cause
the
we got
algorithm needs us to be
lives.
consistent.
Yes,
And
yes.
and you don't want it to dominate. I think a lot of DJs, we're done with the social media thing, and it feels like you're burning out. I'm still enjoying it because the way I do it is I'm playing records for people, and so what I'm getting is their reaction to the track. And some people hate the tracks, and that's okay because we can't all like the same stuff.
Yep.
And then some people love the tracks, so I'm still slightly getting that buzz of yay, we're all in it together, even though we're not on the dance floor.
So yeah, man. I think that's a massive major tip. Making it simple. Sustainability is massive. Don't overthink. Don't over edit. Don't overdo anything, because the thing that people do say about social media is that I can't, like, it's too much. Similar to like what you're saying, we've got kids, we've got jobs, we've got all these different things going on. So you want it to be something that doesn't consume your life, and it will if you make it, because it's all what you do. When people are being doing too much, like being overwhelmed by social media, that's an overwhelm that you're putting on yourself. It's not an overwhelm that no one's demanding from you. Now, I always say, like, I do the 30-day challenge, and the reason I do the 30-day challenge is for multiple things. One, because I want people to get rid of that whole voice in your mind. And if you post every day, you're so focused on getting that content every day that voice doesn't get a chance. Yeah. Also, it shows you what happens with consistency, and you learn fast. You could do 2 posts a month, but it's just going to take you longer to learn. If you cram it in a short space of time, you can learn a lot. And then after you've done your 30-day challenge, if it was difficult for you, then don't post every day.
No, that's right. That's it. You can definitely slacken off. So I'm at the moment, I'm going after a goal. So I'm being very consistent. And that's for reasons that I can't disclose yet, but one day I will be able
keep the
to.
secrets.
But,
as long as you follow, you'll see what it's all about.
Have me back for part 2 and secrets will be revealed.
Okay. Cool.
But yes, I think you're absolutely right. I think the nature of social media, unfortunately, is that if you're inconsistent and you only post twice a month, the algorithm doesn't know what to do with you or where to put you, so it won't.
It won't put you anywhere.
All the people that go, I've only got 200 followers, it's like, because the algorithm doesn't recognize you. So you've got to be engaging with other people so the algorithm knows what you like, and then it will start knowing where to put your content out. But if you're not doing lots of content, it forgets you, basically. So that's why. But yeah, and I think another big part of it obviously is worrying about people's reactions online. So I had this a lot. I used to get a lot of negativity, and it used to really affect me. And then it would it would tap into that overthinking, because I'm telling you, if there was an Overthinkers Anonymous, I would be the president. You know that expression, feel the fear and do it anyway. It's like, no, feel the fear and be completely gripped and spiral into a puddle on the floor. That's basically the way I've lived my life. So now I have to feel that fear, because it's there all the time. Because when you're DJing, you are constantly out of your comfort zone, because you're in front of strangers all the time, playing things that they may or may not like. Correct. And you are kind of partly responsible for whether they have a good time or not. So you have to learn to go, I recognize that feeling in me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because every time I feel that feeling and I go out there, it's usually pretty good. And if I train wreck, no one else is going to care anyway. And I think with socials, I started changing my content a bit, because I was like, how can I avoid getting those comments? Or I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be guided by fear. I'm going to be guided by authenticity. Fantastic. What can I deliver? And if I was in front of you in a room, I would do exactly what my husband has had to deal with his whole married life to me, which is 20 years. He calls them Jules's musical odysseys. We'll be in the middle of a conversation about something, and I'll suddenly go, have you heard this tune? And then that's it. 2 hours have gone of me just going, and this tune, the chorus on this, the drop on this, I listen to the bells on it. I mean, that's it. And then it's midnight and we've done nothing, and he didn't get to finish his conversation. And that's what I'm doing on socials, because that's what I do if you're in a room with me. Don't expect intelligent conversation, but I will play you a lot of music. So that's how I show up on socials. And that helps me stay consistent, and I get over the fear factor, because now I'm like, well, if you don't like the song, I don't really care. Because that's okay, because it's not me. I didn't make it.
Yeah, don't blame me. Like, that's what I
Yeah,
have to.
good for you. I like it. You don't have to like it. I will never, ever, ever play a tune I don't like. That's the only rule that I have. So obviously DJs do send me stuff because they would like me to promo it. But if I listen to their tracks and I don't feel like it's quite right, then I probably, if I wouldn't play it out, then I probably wouldn't put it on socials.
Do you tell them?
So sometimes I'm really honest and I say, sometimes I really like the track, but like if it's progressive house or something, that just isn't what I play or get booked for. So sometimes I say I actually really like it, but I just don't think it's something that I would play. And that's the honest truth. If it was really, really awful, which is so rare, then I'm probably maybe would just say thank you. I mean, to be fair, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting quite a lot. So I can't always reply to everybody. So
No.
anyone hearing this who thinks, oh, she only said thank you to me, does that mean she hates my track? No, that's not necessarily the case. It might just literally be that I've only got so many hours in a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll only play what I actually really, really enjoy.
Yeah, and I think that's right because you got to think of it. Believe it or not, Judge, you're creating a brand. Like you are creating a brand, which is you. You are the brand. You've got a look. I love the look. You was very when you came up on my
big glasses.
TikTok, yeah, the glasses and the hair, like straight away. I was like, it's a bit iconic, like 100%. Like so, as soon as I saw you, I was like, yep. And then when I saw you again, you know, from the first time, it's not like, oh, who's this? I don't know who this person is. No, this is a DJ. This is a woman. She's got the glasses on and she's talking about music and she's vibing to bangers. That's what I saw.
That's all I do. That's my life.
That's all I do. That's my thing.
Ginger and vibing.
Ginger and vibing. I love it.
Maybe that's my. If I should get that on a t-shirt. Ginger and vibing.
Ginger and vibing. That is banging. I look forward to seeing that later this year.
Yeah. So how much commission?
There is one thing that you did say. 10% is the maximum. There was one.
Oh right. Okay. Business deals right here. Business deals. 7%. That's all we get.
There's one thing that you did say that I definitely want to quickly touch on because this is another thing. I'm getting into the mind of the person who's listening, but they're listening to the negative voice and not listening to what we're saying. And it's the trolls. And it's the people that put in negative comments. And more so, once again, I'm going to go more so lean it into you being a woman. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because actually I don't know, are most trolls that you receive male or female?
Male.
Sad.
Of a certain age.
Of a certain age, and they're males. Is there anything like, what is probably one of the worst things that you saw that kind of affected you? Is there anything that you want to share as to what was said, or anything that was like something that you've experienced to sort of highlight sort of like what kind of energy you have not continuously received, but some of the things that you have seen in the past?
Yeah, so the ones that feel really personal. So I think if someone jumps on and they go, "Oh, fake DJ," because it's not vinyl, or "Oh, everyone's a DJ these days," I'm like, okay, you've just got a beef with the industry. That's not personal to me.
Yeah.
But when people say things, they comment on my appearance, my weight. I'm not. I'm a average sized woman for a woman of my age who's had 2 kids and in perimenopause, baby. I'm not a stick insect. I don't wear crop tops, don't have my boobs out all the time. I'm a very ordinary looking person. And so I think when people make comments about my appearance, that hurts. I guess because I feel a little bit I'm not what I was in my 20s. I'm very aware of that. I'd love to be. That hurts. And I think it hurts also because I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
I'm here for music.
Yes.
So comment on the music or my mixes or my radio show or my skills as a DJ. Comment on that stuff. Give me a really hard time if you want to. I'll take the feedback. But when you comment on my appearance and get really personal, I don't understand what that's got to do with the reason why I'm on social media in the first place.
And
so yeah.
So and with your what would you normally do? Are you the type just to block and ignore? Do you just leave it? Like what do you do when those things happen?
It depends. So I used to never comment to the individual, but would occasionally put out a video. If it felt like those sorts of comments were stacking up, I'd then do a video at some point going, "Hey, all you people that say this, by the way, F off." Not as aggressive as that. I'd kind of address it in a humorous way with the giant eye roll. And then, Fish 56 Octagon.
Yes.
He got in touch with me and he said, just don't bite back. Just because you're giving them what they want, you're feeding it. Just ignore them. So now I ignore them. Every now and again, there's someone who really gets my goat, and I will probably. I can't help it. I'm like, oh, I had a bad moment. And I never, do you know what? I try to remain really professional. So I never attack back, never. But I might say something like, "You're nice," or "pointless comment." You know, it might be something like that. Or, "I can't believe you took the time to write that." I mean, because seriously, there's part of me just going, if you don't like something, do you not just scroll on? You've got to literally click into the video, type it out. And let's be honest, your autocorrect does its thing. So you've got to type it 6 times and post it. It's like, who's got the energy for that?
Effort for that? For what?
Dude, get a job. So I try not to, also, I think this is a really unfortunate thing that happens, that as your profile grows a bit, and I'm certainly not super famous, but I've got enough followers on TikTok now that actually you are setting a bit of an example. And so I don't want to be that bitter bite back person. But what I have done to protect myself is there were certain comments about my appearance. I took those keywords, I put them into my filters so that comments that are around that stuff generally don't appear. So, but the occasional one slips through. But I think I'm probably more hardy to it now because I think I feel a bit more legit as a DJ.
Because
I'm getting gigs
is growing massively as well.
Whereas before I was like, everyone thinks I'm a bit of an idiot, and I probably am a bit of an idiot, and I don't really know what I'm doing. And now they're making comments about my appearance, and everyone just thinks I'm someone's mum. And 20-year-olds aren't going to want to dance when I'm on the decks because they're going to think I'm fat and stupid. And you know, a lot of that's kind of gone over time because I've pushed myself to take opportunities where I felt wholly inadequate and learned that I wasn't inadequate, and actually I was very welcome in those spaces. So a few trolls on social media aren't the picture of what's happening in the real world. And the world of DJing on social media is not what's happening in the world of DJing and clubs and festivals in the real world either.
Correct.
There's social media DJ world, and then there's actually just going out and doing the job.
And they're two different things. They're two different things. And depending on where you are, that's the reason why especially because I talk to a lot of DJs, seasoned, modern, but the ones that call me the most are the new ones. The new ones call me the most. That's where, you know what I mean? I always, that anyone who's new in it reminds me of me. That's it's the same thing of when I do this podcast. Like the whole reason I'm doing this podcast is because I remember when I came in and the things that I saw and things that I heard, and I was like, why is there none of this? Why doesn't this exist? Like, why, when you're new, similar to going back to what you were saying before, I feel, I'm going to say it now, and I don't care how people feel. If you're new, don't go on Facebook, because Facebook, those people live there too much, and they will not give you the opportunity or what you need to hear for you to continue. My thing is that I want to give you everything you need to continue, but most importantly is to believe. If you don't believe, you will never achieve. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. No, it's true. If you don't believe, you can't do something. And 99.99999% of the time, it's not true what your voice is telling you in your head. It's the negative voice, right? So I try to be the person that's trying to batter that negative, that 99999%. I'm in there trying to go, trying to bash that down so you can believe you can do something, you to then start doing something, and then for you to then see that it can be. You can.
It is possible.
Yes.
Exactly. It is possible. And you helped me in the beginning because I discovered you really early on because you spent that first summer that I was DJing, you were doing some pop-ups all around the place.
Yeah.
And can I just share a story about one of your pop-ups?
Oh, please.
So this is possibly one of the funniest things that I have ever seen in a live. So you are in a field and there's a tree hanging over and you're on your decks and you are showing us the range of a microphone that you've picked up.
Oh, yeah.
And you start moving away from your decks and you're running and you're running and you're running, and then there's a hill and you disappear over around the hill. You are completely out of shot, and we can still hear you go banging on about how brilliant this microphone is. It's just the fact that you're slowly disappearing away into the distance, but we can still hear you. And then everyone in the chat is like, what is going on? And then people were joining in and going, what is this? Because of the tree, they're like, are the squirrels DJing?
Yeah,
like, what's happening here? It was just chaos. And then you came back. It was just so funny. I think, sorry, what was the question? Oh, helping people. Right. So, sorry, welcome to my brain.
Oh my God.
Sorry, what are we doing here? Who am I?
What's going on?
No, you're right. You helped me loads because so like, I have to say this, there were a bunch of men who were really brilliant, who I'm still friends with, like you. And the way you all approached me was the same thing, which was getting in my comments, not in my DMs, not being creepy, not weird, in my comments, bigging me up. And then when I did lives, jumping in my lives and going, yes, come on, you've got this. And I have got this one friend, I share this story all the time, DJ, his name's Danger Russ, and he said to me right at the beginning, if you don't hype yourself, no one else will hype you. It's that old adage of, if you don't believe in yourself, you're not giving anyone else a reason to believe in you, because what are you presenting? And so I had to sort of fake it to make it a little bit to start with. I'm like a swan effect, you know, underneath the water, my feet are doing this. Inside, I'm a bit of a wreck, but externally, I'm like, no, I've got this. I can do this. It was a journey for myself to start with, to show me that I could do something different. I could learn new skills, and there were these beautiful people that were helping me along the way. And I've never forgotten how that support really helped me. So I agree with you. Stay out the Facebook groups, because they'll destroy your confidence, and you won't get any help there. But also, the people that will help you will stick around, and they'll be there for every step of your journey. And then as we grow, we return the favor. And now I've got people in my DMs going, you know, how are you getting clean sound on your videos? Or what controller should I get? Or where are you finding your music from? And I'm like, I am going to help you, because strangers helped me, a lot of them. And I'm not someone who thinks there's too many DJs. I'm like, come on, let's do, you know, even if we all just do it for mental health, let's just do it. So yeah, that's all part of it, isn't it? It's the next generation. When I'm dead, who's going to be playing the good tunes?
I say the same stuff. I'm like, I don't want AI DJing is going to come. It's going to happen, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Can't read a room, can
no, they can't. They're going to have skills. I think in the next 5 years, I'm sure. And if it does come in, believe it or not, I'm going to invest in it. But anyway.
Just be sitting there having a cigarette while the computer's doing it all for you.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have like cameras in rooms. And I don't think it's ever going to... We won't fully enjoy it, but I think like in 15 to 20 years from now, it will definitely be a strong option in terms of, you know, where do you want to go to? Do you want to go to a virtual club? And a virtual club is where there's an AI DJ and it reads people coming in. Yeah. And it will be quite cool. It will be like a cool thing. Like you go in there.
People are already going to hologram gigs, aren't they? That ABBA thing.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So if
Similar
that's open,
there's
going to be different things in the future that will be those types of stuff. So I think like AI DJing is definitely going to happen, but I don't think it will take over. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it will be the only option and then DJs disappear. Now, DJs will only disappear if people stop becoming DJs. That is the only reason I think
agree.
that DJs will stop disappearing. Because like what we were saying about that, I don't know if AI will ever be able to achieve this, but that connection you cannot get. I feel it can only happen when it's real. Like this connection thing you can't see. It's just, it can't be explained. It's a phenomenon, but it's a human, it's a person to person thing, and it's a person to many thing. It's a group thing. It's a connection thing, and I don't think software can do that. That's the reason why I think even at an event, I know there's some events that people do, let's say weddings, and maybe someone might not have the budget for a DJ, and then they put on a Spotify playlist. Even if the best DJ put that Spotify playlist together, the connection is not there.
Agreed.
So therefore, it's impossible to create the vibe that a DJ could bring to the room than a playlist that I don't think that. So therefore, I don't think that will ever happen. So I think
agree.
Pushing for new DJs to believe that they can do it and bringing them up and helping them, I'm all for that, because I want to know that when if I'm on my deathbed, I want to be that person that's like, yeah, man, it's still going. I've done my job.
Yeah. Those going to be your final words.
Final words. It's still going.
Not children, I love you.
Thriving. Say no more. Is it working? Yeah, it is, man. You done your thing. I did, didn't I? Yes, you did.
The kids will be like, Dad, have you got anything you want to say to me? No, just become a DJ.
Just become a DJ, man. Just become a DJ. It will help your mental health and help so much more others in many ways that you can't even explain. One of your videos, Giles, you was talking about old school DJs. So apparently you made a comment online about old school DJs, and you were saying like you can be seen as an old school DJ, even though that you're not, because you've been doing it for some time. But then you put out like a video talking about like old school DJs. What was you talking about, and what happened with that?
bit of controversy.
Let's go.
Yeah, so all that happened was I was playing a tune from the 90s. I started this little mini series of kind of some of my favourite tunes from the 90s. And the point of doing that was because there are some tunes from the 90s that have been played all the time, some that the next generation are now rediscovering. But I also wanted to address the point where you get a lot of people my age going, don't remix our tunes, don't touch the originals. But actually the dance floors today have got better sound systems. People want more bass, more sub, shorter tunes. So actually some of the edits are being done for today's dance floors, and I really get it. So I was kind of sort of saying, look, I'm going to share some stuff from the 90s. I don't do this a lot because I don't want to be seen as an old school DJ, but these are some of my faves. How can I not share them? It was like a really simple thing. And then I was getting people in my comments, what's wrong with old school DJs? Nothing wrong with old school DJs. And I was like, oh, no. I've obviously offended everyone of my age who's been a DJ for 30 years. What I meant was, because of my age, because I'm in my mid to late 40s, it would be very easy to assume I'm an old school DJ, that I've been a DJ maybe for lots of years. I haven't. I'm a newbie on the job. Also, it would be really easy, because of my age, to think that I'm only interested in playing music that's 30 years old. I'm not interested in any new house music. And that's a lie. There is so much great music. I want to play to all ages and stages in all kinds of venues. So I don't want to just get pigeonholed as Jules, the 90s old school DJ. The 90s is a really big part of my story. It's where a lot of my influences came from. Obviously, I was out raving and clubbing, and I love all of it. I love the tunes, everything. But I don't. If I'm not careful, all I'll get is come and do this 90s reunion, and that's just not where I want to market myself. So that's all I meant. So and I said in my correction, respect to old school DJs, because most of them who kicked off in the 90s or the late 80s are still DJing. So well done, because working in creative industries is freaking hard work. Most of them have reached some kind of legendary status because of their musical knowledge and their skills. Oh, banging glasses. And I think, those are the people that introduced me to the music that I love. So I don't have any disrespect to these people, but I just don't want to be labelled a certain type of DJ. And I think a lot of DJs wouldn't want to be labelled a certain type of DJ. And if you are a DJ that was a 90s DJ that does only do 90s events, great, good for you. If that makes you happy, do it. But that's not for me. But yes, it got a little, I can't explain that in a freaking video. Everyone's sitting there going, come on, love, play the tune.
I need to scroll. Like, come on, I want to see you finish this.
I've got 3 seconds to get your attention. I'm not going to explain what I mean every time I use a term. But yeah, I did upset some people with that one.
It happens. It's funny when you do a video and your idea of the video is to talk about whatever, and you've tried to make it clear. You're like, yep, post. But then the comments go this way, and you're like, whoa, what did I say? Like, I did not say that. And then it's like, I always look at it as like, with comments, someone starts something and then someone else starts, and then now everyone's just focusing on these top comments. And then those top comments become all the comments. And and I'm like, no, that's not what I was saying.
You're all offended, but I really like you. It's not about you.
This is not what this is about.
Do you know what? You have to learn, don't you? If you make mistakes and you say things in a throwaway way, you just got to be more mindful. But also, DJs of a certain age, we are a little bit sensitive. Like, it doesn't take much to trigger some people. So
I always think with those DJs of a certain age that get triggered, I think it's because they are not happy where they are currently in their DJ career.
Maybe.
I think that's the only place where that energy can really make you feel a certain way. And it might not be something that they might not admit. No, I don't care. No.
Yeah.
Sit down, talk to a therapist, talk about what it is that you wanted to do and where you are now. And you might not be happy. And that's the bitter person, the troll in you that's created that second account that your partner doesn't know about, that your kids don't know about, that you use to bring other people down, and that makes you feel a bit better. I feel that these are the people. So I always say my thing for anyone who's experienced a troll is they are not the person to be listening to because they've not gained any success for you to feel that way. So when they are coming into your comments and they're being negative, usually it's an issue that they have with themselves that we can't see and we'll never see. And obviously it's not something where I'm like, put up with them because no, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to give people a different outset as to how some trolls are built and what they come about, how they come about.
Yeah.
And someone who is doing well, DJing or doing something that you're doing, and they're doing well, they would never do that. You would never see someone who is doing well in DJing go into a thing and say that mix was rubbish. I feel like when you are doing it or you're happy, you're not even doing well. You don't have to be successful. You don't have to be this. You're just happy with what you're doing. There's some DJs that are beginner DJs that still big up other DJs. They're nowhere in their career, but they still big people up. But I feel like when you've got people that feel they should be further and they're not further, mostly because they didn't do the things or they listened to their negative voice too much, which make them didn't, go into uncomfortable spaces to grow. They then pull down other DJs because they're not happy with where they are. So that's what I think maybe some of them are like.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think it is people that are unhappy and, for whatever reason that is, that's the way they kind of vent it. I think you're right. I think if people are focused on their own lane and what they're doing, then ultimately the only person you're competing with then is yourself.
100%.
And things like jealousy and stuff doesn't get in the way. For me, I'm like, you're my friend. We started at the same time. You're getting way more gigs than me. I am so freaking proud of you. But this time last year, I did half the number of gigs that I've done this year. So also, well done me.
Yes.
It's like, it works like that. I just want to better myself and further myself and do my own thing. And I also believe that, without sounding a bit woo, I think what we carry, we take into the places that we go. So if we don't do the work in ourselves and we're quite bitter and we're quite angry and then we go out and DJ somewhere, we're not taking something positive into that space. No. And that will affect the people around us. It doesn't matter how much you think you can fake it. And I've experienced that as a dancer, thinking, I don't think this DJ is doing very well. Like the tunes are fine, the mixing's fine, but you don't seem happy. And that is affecting my experience. So I think as DJs, we just got to think about that. Do the work, people, figure out what's going on inside of you so that you can be the very best version of yourself.
And that's not even just for a DJ, and that's just for you in general.
For you generally. I'm in therapy. I've been really, really open about that. There's been a lot of trauma in my life that could have made me all kinds of different people. So now I'm in therapy. And that's the way it is. And that's where I work that stuff out. And I am not perfect. I will look at people online and think, oh, I would have loved that opportunity. I'm never going to get that opportunity. But I pull myself out of that really quickly and go, well, never is not going to help for a start. Who says never? No one says never. No one. Never means it will never happen. You could get that opportunity if it's right for you. But trust if it's right for me, it will come for me. I'm going to work hard. So how do I get that opportunity? What have I got to do? Who have I got to network with? What environment have I got to be in? Who do I need to get to know? What application form do I need to fill in? This stuff doesn't fall in your lap. No. You got to go and do the work. That's all the hidden stuff. You don't just slap something on social media and hope that 15 promoters are going to get in touch with you and book you. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. And I think exactly like we were just saying there about the people that sit and think about that, that they can't do something or that's not going to happen for me. If you put that, I said in another video that if you believe something is true, that's the way I look at it. So if you're the kind of DJ that believes I can't get no work, I'm never going to get booked in a place. If you think that, it's true. It's true. Yeah. But if you change what you think and your beliefs, and I can do that, maybe there's a chance. Hopefully one day that's going to be me. If you change some of the things that you're saying, I think that's true. It's true. If you put out something and you say, you've just said, because what you're doing, your brain only will respond to what you tell it to do. It's a machine.
Well, you've created a neural pathway.
You've created a neural pathway.
Right.
So now what your brain will do, if you say, I'm never going to get that, your brain says, okay, cool, thank you, no problem. If an opportunity comes, your brain's going to say, no, we're not doing that. No, because you told me last week that we're not going to be successful. So an opportunity can come, there's a chance of success there. Brain says, no, I must block that because you told me that we're never going to be. Or if you're the type of DJ, that the one that grabs my gears is that, it's saturated, there's too many DJs, I can't get no work. If you believe that, your brain will be only looking for signs that strengthen that. It won't look for any opportunities or avenues where that's not the truth.
That's right. It doesn't look for solutions.
Doesn't look for
where I am,
solutions.
there isn't a lot going on, for example. So I could just sit back and go, well, there's nothing happening in my hometown. It's not going to happen. But I just had to go elsewhere and look at other things and be creative. It isn't how I thought it is, but this might work. I think it's something I learned a really long time ago, because I am someone who has lived with anxiety for most of my adult life, is I had to learn to reframe what ifs into what could be.
Yes.
Because what if takes you into a spiral negative mindset where you only see the problems. What could be takes you to possibilities. So, you know, I get an invite to do a gig, but what if I destroy it? What if my USBs don't work? What if I play the wrong tunes? What if they all laugh at me because I'm fat and ginger? Or what if I smash that and it leads to another gig? What if I really enjoy it and I learn a few new tricks while I'm on the thing? What if I go there, my DJing's average, but I meet this amazing person who's like, I want to take a chance on you. Come and do this festival with me next year. What could be? There could be what could be? There are so many possibilities. Random mental things have happened to me because I have just gone, well, what could be? Let's just, you know, and I don't wake up like that. I wake up, as I say, a chronic, crippled, you know, anxious mess. But the positivity and the stuff that I present is also a very real part of me. I've just had to learn how to overcome some of those mindsets. And a lot of the time when I say overcome, it's just choosing not to pay attention to it. So I acknowledge you're feeling that, and thank you for protecting me, and thank you for doing your job in trying to keep me safe, but I'm not under threat here. This is about me stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something new that could be really good for me. So I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna do it.
Wicked. I'm gonna close the podcast on that very positive note. Jules, I think what you just said there, if anyone doesn't take anything, if you've made it this far into the podcast, changing what if to what could be, I think is the strongest line I think I've heard for a very long time. Because one thing I notice with this whole thing, it's more mental than anything. And that's with life. Let's not even talk about this DJing. This is with everything, guys. This is with everything that you do. Your mindset is so important. And sometimes just changing the question that you ask your mind can give you 1,000 times better output. So what could be is definitely the thing to be saying. So we're going to go back to the woman who's hopefully made it this far, and she's thinking, do you know what? This is really invigorating me. I'm going on Amazon. I'm going to go and buy myself a Flex 4 or a 200.
Yes, do it.
Do it. And more so, it's that thing of what could be. Saying the what could be. What if I did do a video on TikTok and it did really well and I got an opportunity from that? What if I did, do my friend's party and someone then gave me another opportunity? What if I do a radio show and that opens up new doors? What if I just DJ at home and my mental health improves so much for me, my family and my husband just because on Sundays between 12 and 2, I DJ with no one listening, just for myself, and I'm now doing the thing I've always wanted to do, not even chasing anything else. What if?
Yeah.
There you go, guys. There you go. So we are going to end on that note. Go with instead of what could, what if, because the what if, there's so much opportunities there and you don't know what can be. The only way you're going to find out is if you take the action. Don't listen to the negative voice. Try and listen to the positive voice as much as possible. Jules, thank you so much for joining me on today's pod, sharing thanks for your transparency, sharing all that you've shared today. I really hope that this has resonated with, I know a lot of people are going to listen to it, but I'm thinking about that one person that this episode's been really, really helpful for. And thank you for that one person for listening and do the things that we said, because you're going to contact us back in about, give yourself 12 months. Don't rush. Don't put any pressure. Give yourself 12 months and let us know from listening to this what your 12 months is looking like from now. So, Jules, before we go, is there anything you'd like to say to the people? It can be anything about yourself. It can be but it can be anything. Is there any last words you would like to leave this podcast before you go?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to you. This has been a super fun conversation. I don't get to talk like this very often. So thank you for allowing me to completely indulge in the world of DJing and all
No
things
problem.
nerdery for a while. I think probably my final point is just to keep the music the main thing. There is a lot that you have to learn around DJing, technical skill, music theory. Again, if you're running your own business, if you're out there doing mobile events and stuff, there's all of that as well, marketing, etc., etc. But if you get lost in that and get lost in the DJ politics and all the business side of it and lose sight of what you're really doing and why you're really in it, you start to lose your passion and then it feels like hard work. And I think people see that. So keep yourself connected to the music, make it about the music. The music is the star of the show. And I think if you do that, you can do anything.
Yeah. Great final words there from Giles Vick. Thank you so much for joining today. Guys, if you have made it this far to the end of the podcast, please head into the comments and say made it. The reason why I said it is because it's going to answer two questions. One, you've made it to the end and it shows you're dedicated and you enjoyed the show, which is great for us. But also it shows that you're going to make it in whatever it is that you put your mind to. The main thing, like we said, you can make it and you will make it. But it's more about what you want to do. Everyone's got different achievements. Don't put yourself as to compete with anyone else. The only person you should ever compete with, in my opinion, all the time, is yourself. The biggest battle you're always going to have is never outside. It's always going to be inside. So if you can focus on the things that you do, the things that make you better, and every single step, small increments make a big thing. To get to the top is a long journey, but one step, two step, one little thing, one thing a day, a week, a month, or whatever it may be, will make sure that you are getting to where you need to be. Some people will get there in 6 months, some people will get there in 6 years. But one thing I will tell you, for the people that are going to take 6 years to get there, life is all about the journey. It's not about the quick end. If you get there too quick, sometimes you can find yourself in a position where you're like, what do I do now? And you're like, it's only happened in 6 months. But 6 years, the real enjoyment, the things you're going to remember, the stories you're going to tell are from what happens between year 1 and year 6. It's this part. So why not make the journey 8 years? Why not make it 10? Why not make it 15? Because you had to get to learn and enjoy so much more, and the growth and the things that you will learn on yourself, not comparing yourself to others, on yourself, and where you will come when you look back and you think, I've come all this. Yes, you did that. So make sure. Oh, man. Thank you so much, Giles. We will be bringing you back on for another one because we want to hear some of your other projects and we want to keep tabs on you and what you are getting up to, because I can see this year 2026 being an amazing year for you. I don't know why. I don't know what, but I know I'm going to see something. I'm going to be like, I knew it. Yeah. And we are going to get you back on to talk about those things once they have happened. So, yeah, this isn't a goodbye. This is a see you soon for your next podcast episode on the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. So, guys, make sure you head into the description. I have left Giles' links is there, so you can go and have a look at all the stuff that she is doing. We've got our TikTok and we've got our Instagram on there. If you love disco house music, this is a DJ you must be following, because you are going to be getting so much more nuggets and different songs that you might not have been exposed to that you can add into your playlist, and you can be grooving and jiving and doing all those great stuff when you head to your parties as well and put in that nice little set. So guys, make sure you subscribe, share with a friend, like, comment, all those good things. It really helps support the podcast. I want to give a big shout to all my patrons, guys. If it wasn't for you, we probably still wouldn't be doing it. So your support is more than welcome. And if you would like to support the podcast and keep this kind of educations and talks going on, why not you head into the link in the description also, and you can join our Patreon community. Other than that, guys, I'll see you same time, same place next week for some more insightful, educational, great stuff on the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Me.